Hallo, guten Tag, Servus, Cześć, Ohio, no, Konbanwa, what else? Hi, bonjour, what do I know? Hola! Anyway, guys, I don't want to annoy you. So what is it about? Yeah, welcome to part 6 of I Read Your Comments video. This is the 2021 version. Before I actually start reading your comments, I would like to talk quickly about the new overlay and art related stuff in general. So a little bit advertising for myself, like I have to. Because I always create stuff. I think I cannot stop because I love it. And this is why I want to talk about this quickly. So you can see there's a new science fiction overlay I created over the weekend, which is also the reason this I Read Your Comments video is recorded today on Monday, not last week. I wanted to, I couldn't anyway. So we have a new science fiction overlay. This could be a little bit over the top for some games for sure. Oh no, for some games it's the right thing, but for most of the games it's too distracting. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's good for I Read Your Comments video, and then I would like to show you the actual thing which it became. I think yesterday on Sunday or Saturday evening, night. So yeah, this is just something you can actually, if you like kind of those stuff, and I don't know what that actually is. I created it, but I don't really know what it is. It could be a planet finder, planet destroyer, planet life searcher, or completely nonsense. It's up to you. I have also a different version because this one is extremely colorful, which I personally like a lot. It reminds me of my grandma. She had like a Christmas, colorful Christmas tree. I freaking love it when I think on that. Anyway, so that's what I personally like a lot. And if you want to see more of those stuff, then check out my Twitter channel. If you're just interested in some weird pictures, I'm going to create more and more background images because it's also fun. Yeah, so this is the one thing. Did I say Twitter? Boy, yeah, check it out. There is a link on this channel to the Twitter account. You can check this out if you want. Also, there is a Blender channel, Project LARA. You can check that out too. Anyway, guys, yeah, I would say we're gonna do now the important stuff for you. Just let me take a break here. I'm gonna listen if I summarized everything well enough, and then we start reading your comments. Okay, hold on. Okie dokie, guys. I think we are ready to start reading your comments. Today we start with ArachCobra. This is the newest comment, and then we're gonna go down to the oldest comment. This is the other way around. Usually I'm doing it the other way around. So let's get to it. This is a new phrase I would like to use, and we start again with ArachCobra. So 4 days ago he wrote, as I wrote in an earlier comment, this episode feels very thrown together. This womp level, for example, just came out of nowhere and then goes again. And I was thinking about that a little bit, and on the one hand, I think, yeah, on the one hand, he's right. It kind of, now that he said this or wrote this, it makes sense. You're suddenly being in a completely different level. But I honestly, I didn't get that since I don't really, when I play these games, and I'm not playing them every day, so not all at once. So there's always a little bit of a break in between, and when I just start playing it, I'm not getting it, and I just accepted it. This is the new level. I wasn't thinking about, does it make sense or something? So yeah, and he doesn't say that it doesn't make sense. He just says Bloodfresh Supply has a kind of a structure, and this one is just a little bit out of the ordinary, if I get this correctly. So thanks for that, ArachCobra, and I think I would like to select this one here and translate it quickly for me. Okay, the word is room. It's a very, well, but it describes that level perfectly. I was thinking about a digestion thing. We are in kind of a stomach or something, but room. This is the Google Translator told me it's pronounced. That, yeah, that fits very well. Okay, again, thank you, ArachCobra. We continue with Gabriel 6 days ago already. 3220. Laugh my ass off. The more you ran, yeah, I remember this scene very well. The more you ran, the worse things got. Yeah, this is exactly what happened. I think I brought myself, let myself into this situation because I freaked out. I didn't know what to do, so I just ran, and every decision, every path I choose was obviously the wrong one. And then it felt to me like they would suddenly coming out of nowhere. I'm being surrounded by those demons. Yeah, I like that actually. That was I really liked the last part. I was very happy with Doom Part 2. Yeah, so next one is 24/5. The word you are looking for is the Y and Z keys, or Z or Z or Z or whatever, are swept. Yeah, this is something I should write down because it's not in my speaking vocabulary. I also started, I'm just gonna prepare my thing here. Sometimes I pause the recording, sometimes I don't. It's really random. Sorry guys. Let's pause it. I'm gonna write it down. Okay, dokie. I wrote it down. I listened to the Google Translator. The Y and Z keys are swapped. Okay, dokie. That's a very important thing, and I like when you guys correct me on stuff like this, because this is, you know, I will certain things I will never get because no one is correcting me. It's good to not overcorrect somebody, to not make him like feel bad, but you guys don't do this anyways. But sentences I use all the time wrong, and I do it over and over again, then please correct me over and over again with the proper sentence. So that would be nice. This is a very good example. I really like that. I appreciate it very much. Then the next thing, oh, see, I did this again. Oh, I will never. Well, it's still doable. It's still doable. We're still reading Gabriel's comments, so the name, you know, I forgot to change the name. Okay, next comment, 6 days ago from Gabriel. I'm not sure if you can hear the keyboard. This is what I said. Oh, we can hear it. It's clacking like the old school. I don't mind it at all. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Sometimes the open broadcast software is very set up very well, and every noise is kind of what happens in the background. So few meters away from a microphone, like already 1 meter, 2 meters. It's pretty good in you know, in picking up the noise and not, you know, not showing the noise, or anyway, you know what I mean. However, the microphone is being the keyboard is being too close to the microphone. It's only like maybe 30 centimeters away, maybe, no, 30 centimeters, maybe less, maybe 20, and this is being very loud. And on the one hand, I also don't really mind some clicking noises. However, I kind of like the quality standard. I think I'm gonna try next time the quiet keyboard and try to get used to the stupid keys. It's a cheap keyboard anyway. Point is, at some point I will change the keyboard, because, you know, although most of the people I think being fine, at the end of the day is, how can I summarize this? At the end of the day, it's better to not have a noise, because some like it and some being annoyed, but no one is annoyed by not hearing that at all. Boy, now I talked a little bit too much about this little thing. But thank you, Gabriel. That's good to know. Poeleabois, 6 days ago. Let's change the name. Poeleabois, why do you have such a long name? Now we have to make this kind of Is this? Yeah, it's never gonna be perfect, guys. That's not because I cannot really. This is good enough. You know what? Here we go. Poeleabois. A blacksmith. No, what am I reading? Black stimpack are steroids. Steroids. Black stimpaks. No, black stimpack are steroids. They tint your vision in red and allow you to punch enemies much harder. Most monsters can be killed in one punch that way. The effect will last until the end of the level, even after the red goes away. Okay, let me just a stimpack as steroids. Did I use a stimpack and I don't realize that I use a stimpack, but I probably have. I cannot remember that right now. Maybe you just tell him this in general because I try to punch those guys, right? So if we have like a black stimpack, then we should basically punch those guys. Yeah, I think so. Okay, that makes sense. So if we find a stimpack, the tint and everything is red, then it allows us to push much harder, to punch much harder. Most monsters can be killed in one punch that way. That effect will last until the end of the level. Until the end of the level, even after the red goes away. Okay, this is a very important, especially the last sentence was very important. I almost missed that. Okay, that's good to know. Then, if I find a stimpack, I'm gonna punch those demons in the face. Thank you, Poeleabois. Now we're gonna skip the game. It's about. It's now about name changing first. Now what the heck? Where is the text? No, this is the wrong text. Wrong text. Now I can. Anyway. Barbecue pasta. It's now about blood fresh supply, and he wrote something which I believe I'm gonna read this again in the next because it's a very interesting thing. Comment. Let's read this again. As for the cutscene, the name of the mastermind behind the cult is Chernobog. The name of the building that you saw is the Hall of Epiphany. Where, let me check the pronunciation, guys. Okay, Epiphany is Offenbarung in the German language. Okay, so Hall of Epiphany, where Chernobog, I still don't know the pronunciation for that, resides. In the cutscene, Caleb asks why the chosen, the highest rank member who got killed in the first cutscene of the game, including Caleb, were cast down. Chernobog, I hope the pronunciation is correct, Chernobog then revealed his plot, which is he knew Caleb would return to him, killing anyone he ran into, take his revenge, and toss, collecting and gaining immense power, something Chernobog wants for himself. Now I'm gonna read this quietly again, see if I get it correctly. Okay, so I listened to this again in the Google Translator and I read it again. I think I got that. So Chernobog is the mastermind, like you said, and he basically killed Caleb, and Caleb then returned and tried to revenge him or something, and by doing so he became stronger and stronger by killing more and more cultists, and this is what Chernobog, who lives there in the Hall of Empathy, this was his idea. Oh boy, I think I'm summarized it very badly, but I got it. I understand. And then now it's interesting what happens next, right? Okay, again, summarizing was bad, but I got it. I got it. Thank you, Barbecue Pasta. Then poeleabois. Poeleabois. Now the open broadcast is weird. Sometimes you can just... Oh, let me see. Maybe I figured it out. I think it must have... that's the reason. I see. Okay. Good. Now I think I figured something out, which is good to know. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna adjust this. Anyway, let's continue. Poeleabois, aka woodstove. This episode is the one to introduce locked rooms that are not necessary to finish the level. This episode is the one to introduce locked rooms that are not necessary to finish the level. What do you mean by that? This episode is the one to introduce locked rooms that are not necessary to finish the level. I have a little bit trouble. Sorry, AK. I have a little bit trouble to understand the poeleabois. I think does this not apply to each part I played until now? Because I assume that those key cards and locked doors, they would you can always complete a level without going there, right? So I'm not so sure what you mean by that, but I have an idea. Okay, but anyway, thank you, poeleabois. So maybe if you want, you can explain it in more detail to me, because it's probably me anyway, so don't worry about that. Then Barbecue Pasta again, 6 days ago. I always feel sorry if I don't get something, guys, but don't feel sad because of it, okay? Just saying it. Okay, Barbecue Pasta, 6 days ago. It's now about Bloodthirst Supply again, and Barbecue Pasta wrote, the name of this level is The Flesh. That makes sense. That makes sense. I don't know the lore behind this level, for what this level actually is. Maybe it is just a level with a lot of live flesh made by the final boss or the cult. Or maybe the nest of all the weird creatures in the game. Just my speculation. I like this a lot, and combine this one with Gabriel's word, which was, where is it? The womb. Maybe it's like a creature, like a mother creature of evil. So I think, yeah, that makes sense. And it also, that's what ArachCobra probably meant. This kind of level is really hard to grab. It really comes out of the blue. So yeah, kind of it reminds me now on, do you guys know Max Payne? The weird, extremely weird and psychedelic baby level. That was so horrible, and it reminds me on this a little bit. So, Max Payne 1 was such a great game. I played it recently on Android, but you cannot play games like this on Android. The controls difficult. And who the hands are actually harder to beat than all the bosses. And who the hands are actually harder to beat than all the bosses that you fought so far. With the help of the water, of course. And wow, now I see it. And wow, the hands are actually harder to beat than all the bosses that you fought so far. With the help of the water. Yeah. This was such a difficult fight to kill those hands, because as soon as they start to be in the water, well, you are in trouble. They are it's hard to see them attacking you. You think you see them, and then suddenly the other hand is coming and then trying to kill you. What is that word again? Let me check this quickly. Okay, to strangle you, and that made it very, very tough to kill those little bastards, but I still like them. I think they are funny. They remind me on the Addams Family, and they cool, and I love them, even though they were starting to annoy me actually, but they were still cool. Okay, yeah, that's about it. Then we have JC Papovich. About him, I believe he's a young fellow, and I was, I'm happy about every comment, but this was kind of interesting and funny to me because he wrote me a year ago, I think. This one here, where my next part of Bioshock is, and back then I didn't tag it very well, and also I gave it names, so it's maybe hard to find this if you use a phone or something. And a year later he wrote me that he found it, and I was thinking, that's so great. And I gave him like an answer and a list with all those what did I do actually? Can we see that here? Yeah, a whole list, I hope, somewhere. Yeah, with all those, because the problem is you cannot really, if you're not using the playlist, I believe it's hard to find it on a phone because there's no suggested video or something. The channel is just too small. Anyway, so I gave him in the list, and I hope this will help him to find each part he is looking for. But thanks for the comments, JC, and I'm gonna just put you on the screen as well. Almost forgot that. So good. Oh, no, what am I doing here? No, I did it again. I screwed up something. Yeah, come on. Okay. I think I have to adjust the overlay a little bit for names who are bigger and so on. Anyway, good. Then I responded already, so I don't need to read that. But again, thank you, Chasey. Very nice. Then what is that? Did I respond to that? Oh no, let's read this also. This is something I thought, of course, I'm gonna read that too. That is also very important. I think that was cool, guys. So I was being away because I was, I did not felt any motivation, and also there's a lot of stuff going on in my private life right now, which keeps me a little bit busier than usual. But for all the good reasons. That's what you guys say, right? So poeleabois, aka wrote to my last read your comments videos. Chocolate Doom is totally illegal as long as you use the WAD file from a legal version of the game, or from the free shareware. Doom's source code has been released to the public by ID Software in the late 90s, but the game's assets are not public or free. Someone made a completely free version of Doom called Poom. That's a great thing. It uses the Doom engine, but all the graphics and sounds are made from scratch. That's a good information. Yeah, this is also I googled it last time I read you talking about it, and basically they said the same thing, that if you that's the German accent, right? That is my, anyway. They said the same thing, that if you own the original version, then you can kind of combine it or something like that. So that's fine, but you need to own the original, or you have to have a legal, well, you wrote it completely fine, so that's, correct. Yeah, that's interesting. Sometimes when I scroll through the Android things, there's so many bad games. Most of the games just making me not sad, a little bit. Anyway, but there's also like a free Doom version I've seen. I'm not downloading anything. I'm not even playing it on Android. The original Doom I've seen, it costs, you can buy it on the Android version, I think $4.99 or something. But I'm not even doing that. I don't want to spoiler me, but I probably buy it after my playthrough. And I saw a free version. I was always thinking, I believe I saw a free version. How do they do that? But maybe it's because of that, you know? Maybe it's because, yeah, something like that. Anyways, okay. I'm not sure if you can follow me. I'm getting a little bit, you know, as usual, I start to not being focused. Polybra, next comment, he wrote, reading my own comments after 2 weeks, my English seems quite broken. That instead of the, yeah, I mean, don't worry about that. That's the thing. If you're not a native speaker, or even if you're a native speaker, you're still allowed to make mistakes. And you guys, I mean, honestly, all of you write perfectly to me. Sometimes there are mistakes, but sometimes I'm not getting it. But most of the time it sounds very educated. So, and making mistakes, everybody should be allowed. This is not, you guys do not write a book or something. So it's just a common casual talking, and you can edit it later. So don't worry about it at all. This is completely fine. And you guys doing a really good job. So really well, you write very well. So my girlfriend even said this, you know, she said that you guys are being very nice and you write very well and a little bit nerdy. I think that what she said. I'm not so sure, but this also applies to me. I am also a little bit nerdy, you know, when it comes to technique, not in a bad way. So I should be very happy with. There's not much going on, but what is going on is very good. Yeah. So then there's also the fact for the difficulty thing that what I mean is that each episode is harder than the previous one, and that going to a higher difficulty seems counterintuitive. There is also the fact that the first episode of Doom will always be the more interesting one to me, and playing it in ultra violence would have meant spending more time going through it. I have confidence in your abilities to get through the game in ultra violence even without mouse. And now he's being very nice. No, but you know, either way I would have accepted it, to be honest. Of course I'm going to struggle from time to time. It also depends on my mood and how well I do. So yeah, it's tougher. But it was fine. Last part was very interesting actually, because I started so well that I was freaking out. I really thought, I wasn't sure if I was loading the right save file, because it felt so easy. But that was only because I chose the right path. I did the right thing at the right time, and this made the game easier. But then I died and I chose the wrong path, and it was very hard. Yeah, but let me just read this one. There is also the fact that the first episode of Doom will always be more interesting one to me, and playing it in ultra violence would have mean spending more time going through it. So do you mean that's a good thing that I take more time, because the first episode is just so interesting that the more time I spend, we stretch the interesting part and have more of it, right? Something like that. So that's good. No, I'm completely fine with with Doom in general. Blood for Supply, very fun games for me to play, and also the difficulty is completely fine in both games. So I'm very happy. Now let's go to Gabriel. 1815. You should check the running. I did. And I already recorded. You can set auto run to on usually with caps lock, and then shift will slow you down. It's just something to check, but I'm pretty sure you were walking, not running, on the toxic pit, and that's why you were getting hurt. And that's completely correct. We did this already. I recorded already the part, and we could see that I wasn't running at all, and so that's correct. Furthermore, if you speed up the character even when you look around with the mouse, it's very it also accelerates the looking around with the mouse. Then Gabriel furthermore writes to my comments video part 5. Lucas, I definitely noticed you hadn't posted in a while, and I was wondering where you were. Yeah, that was very nice. I was very happy sometimes to read all the nice stuff. Don't think that you guys have to do this all the time. It's okay. I mean, I'm not, I do not know what I expect from YouTube. On the one hand, I would like to be successful, but only to have a good reason to continue doing it. I'm actually scared of becoming successful. I'm not sure if I would like it actually, but I want to be good enough so that I have a reason to do that, because I, like obviously recording stuff. And sometimes you're getting frustrated, that's just a thing. I'm doing this since 3 years. And first when I started recording stuff, I always felt like, yeah, that's not too bad, there is potential, but it was also not so good. Anyway, long story short, well, sometimes when I have a bad day, when everything sucks, then of course you have no motivation and you're getting sad, and you start to doubt yourself and your stuff, your abilities, and then you think, well, does this make sense? And this will happen from time to time. There is nothing you can do about it. And someday I would like to talk about this too, because I think it is a thing to talk about. But not now, So right now I'm fine again. Yeah, what can I say when I want to be honest? Sometimes, the world sucks. Sometimes it sucks, and then you fall and then you stand up again. That's the most important thing and the best thing is if you have people who are nice to you, if you're not alone. And life can be a pain in the ass, but if you have people who love you, then you're gonna be okay, in general. I don't know what I'm talking right now, but anyway, it's confusing, but it comes from the heart. Then we have Tommy. No, this is already okay. Now I start to repeat everything. Basically, what I want to say is, guys, thank you for all the comments. You guys being very cool, and you don't have to do anything except what you're doing already. So that's totally fine. So I mean, in supporting. If you watch the videos and if you write me comments and if you watch something you like, then this is all I'm asking for, and I'm happy with this. And if you are, just do what you're interested in. Good. That's it. Another weird video from a weird guy. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. I'm going to record next video will be blood fresh supply for sure. Yeah, that's it. Bye bye. Auf Wiedersehen.